Hello! Welcome to today's episode.
Today's episode is dedicated to the master, Ludwig van Beethoven.
Welcome back to our weekly music podcast. Today, Gabrielle and I are diving into the life of a true musical giant, Ludwig van Beethoven. How are you doing today, Gabrielle?
I am doing great, George. I have been looking forward to this episode all week. Beethoven is such a fascinating figure. On the one hand, his personal life was filled with tragedy. But on the other hand, his music brought so much joy to the world.
That is exactly what I think, Gabrielle. It must have been incredibly difficult for him, especially when he started losing his hearing. Can you imagine being a brilliant composer who cannot even hear his own masterpieces?
It is heartbreaking, George. He actually fell into a deep depression because of it. Nevertheless, he managed to carry on and create some of the most influential music in human history. He was extremely resilient, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Let's start with his Fifth Symphony. That famous four-note opening, da-da-da-dum, is probably the most recognizable motif in classical music. Many people believe it represents fate knocking at the door.
Yes, and that piece was truly revolutionary at the time, George. Before Beethoven, symphonies usually followed very strict rules, but he used the Fifth Symphony to express intense, raw emotions. It starts in a dark, dramatic C minor and ends in a triumphant C major, which shows a journey from struggle to victory.
That is a good point, Gabrielle. He really pushed the boundaries of the classical era and helped transition music into the Romantic era. But as amazing as the Fifth is, we cannot forget about his Ninth Symphony, which he composed when he was completely deaf.
Oh, the Ninth is an absolute masterpiece, George. It is widely considered one of the greatest achievements in Western art. What makes it so unique is that he introduced a choir and solo vocalists in the final movement, singing Friedrich Schiller's famous poem Ode to Joy. No composer had ever dared to do that in a symphony before.
I totally agree. When it premiered in Vienna in 1824, Beethoven had to be turned around by one of the singers just to see the audience applauding because he could not hear the crowd cheering. It must have been an incredibly emotional moment for everyone in the hall.
I would have loved to be there, George. The message of the Ninth Symphony is all about universal brotherhood and joy. In spite of his isolation and physical suffering, Beethoven wanted to unite humanity through his art.
To sum up, his impact is still felt today. His melodies are used in everything from movies to national anthems. All in all, Beethoven did not just write music. He changed how we think about the role of an artist in society.
Well said, George. He proved that music could express the deepest parts of the human soul. I think we have covered his life and symphonies beautifully today.
I agree, Gabrielle. It has been a wonderful discussion. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And thanks to all of our listeners for tuning in. See you next time.
Thank you for listening. Have a good one.